Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. Can you believe this guy at Jason here on Twitter? Wow, he must have been one of the first ones to sign up. He got his first name here only as his handle. And at first, take a look at this guy. At first, I thought this was a photo of John Connor, young John Connor from Terminator 2. Not him though, but he looks kind of like him. I don't know if you guys agree, but I think he looks kind of like him. XRP is obviously a security though, he says. First of all, who the hell are you, man? Jason Calacanis, okay? American entrepreneur and angel investor and founder of the now defunct platform Weblog, is the latest to assert that XRP is actually a security. So, I had to just look up Weblog founder, and, I found this. First article that came up was from the Crypto Basic, basically him stating that XRP is obviously a security. He did come out on Twitter and post this. It would have cost little for the Ripple team to have registered it as a security and played by the rules, like everyone else in the industry does all day long. Wow, you are so out of touch, it's not funny. Ripple will have spent $200 million fighting the SEC lawsuit, says the CEO. So I guess he picked up on this when, Brad Garlinghouse did come out and say, basically come out publicly and said, gave us the final estimates, $200 million to fight the SEC. I feel like it was only a month ago, maybe a year ago, maybe that, he came out and said that the price tag at that point was only $100 million. Only $100 million in quotes. Ashley Prosper responding to this, the XRP community. XRP is not a security. Buying XRP does not give me shares in Ripple, and I do not expect profits based solely on their efforts. No digital assets, not Bitcoin, not Litecoin, not Ethereum, not Algo, not even XLM has registered as a security. Correct me if I'm wrong. The SEC labeling something a security doesn't make it so. Ultimately, that's for Congress and the courts to decide with legislation and rulings. There is no clarity in this market. This was highlighted by members of Congress, former and current SEC and CFTC officials, as well as judges in the Voyager case, Grayscale case, etc. There is no way for a digital asset to register as a security. The process simply does not exist. And I think this is the biggest problem here. So guys like this who, are not even... I don't know if maybe he is an angel investor in, some kind of crypto projects, but, as far as I'm concerned, this guy was the co-founder of Weblog, the now defunct platform. So why is this guy coming out and saying this, other than maybe for a little attention? Tony Edward here posting this says crypto bros are sensitive, but turns off his public comments to his tweet. Who is the sensitive and scared one now, Jason? I gotta say, that is a huge pet peeve of mine. Somebody who turns comments off on their tweets so that, only the people who follow them can respond. I get it that there are going to be trolls, and I get it that there are going to be... the spam, I think, is the bigger reason why you would do it, why I would decide to do it. As you guys probably have seen, I've turned the comments on moderate for my YouTube videos, just because over the years, there's so much spam, and everybody was urging me, look, you should moderate the comments section. And so I do it in that case. I don't really want to do that. But this guy here, he's saying crypto bros are sensitive. Yet, this is how he responds to the crypto bros. John Deaton even responding to this, claiming Ripple sold XRP as a security is one thing. Saying XRP is a security is another. XRP is a line of code inside software. How do you register that? To have registered it as a security and played by the rules like everyone else, where did Ethereum ADA, Algorand, XLM, etc. register? So, again, this guy's knowledge here of cryptocurrency seems very, very limited. He's just tweeting things out, it seems, without really doing the research, without really understanding what the heck he's talking about here. Crypto Knight posting this, John, you let Paul get off the hook with his non-answer to why there's a double standard with Algorand. If you guys didn't catch the video I did this morning, we talked a little bit about that. I will link that up here in the top right-hand corner. Wish you would have pressed him on what the difference was here. John Deaton does say, respectfully, can you answer why Ripple isn't listing XRP within Liquidity Hub? So kind of, shifting gears a little bit here on this topic. I get why people are upset, but Coinbase, Kraken, Ripple, etc. are not the enemy. If Ripple doesn't list XRP in a product offering, are we going to equally be mad at them? So yeah, that's a very good point that John Deaton does bring up here. There are some more people that are responding here. Tony Edward also chiming in on this. Jason is still stuck in Web 2. He hasn't educated himself about Web 3. And I think, that is generally... I think the consensus here, this is a ridiculous statement coming from somebody who should have a deeper knowledge of the tech sector and cryptocurrency in particular. Even Brad Garlinghouse came out and criticized this. Well, first Eric Voorhees posted this. If it had registered, and by the way, Eric Voorhees, I know in the past has been critical of Ripple and XRP. He says even, If it had registered as a security, no exchanges would have been able to support it, and the project would have been dead. There is not a single crypto asset which A, registered as a security, and B, found any adoption, use, success whatsoever. Jason responds to this, so if you don't break securities laws, you can't compete? And Eric Voorhees responded here, Uber broke laws all over the world and ended up creating a service that reduced drunk driving more than all government programs combined. Boom, goes the dynamite. That was a good one. Thank God some entrepreneurs still have courage. We need far more than spirit in America. Great response here. Brad Garlinghouse, though, also responding. Remind me when you learned securities law. This is embarrassing for you and hilariously wrong, as there is no framework to register digital assets in the US. But we're all used to you making controversial statements and trolling about things you know nothing about. Wow, Brad Garlinghouse calling out Jason here. I learned securities law by investing in 350 startups. Yeah. Having a bunch go public, and by forming the largest angel syndicate in the world with 11,000 accredited investors. That is thesyndicate.com, allegedly the biggest in the world. Also, I read the SEC litigation here, and he posts the link. Stop, Jason, says Lex. You are scrambling to respond. It doesn't look well. Brad schooled you, son. Jesse Hines here. Also, I'm not going to argue the ins and outs of securities laws, but I can tell you this. If they registered XRP as a security, they wouldn't be able to use it as a bridge asset, so your point does not work. What a clown. I mean, this guy really has no concept of what the heck is going on. But I am glad that, people are picking up on this, even people who were, and I mean, I think this is, the more not shocking, what's the word I'm looking for? Reassuring part to this is that, even proponents who were anti-Ripple and XRP back in the day, pro-Bitcoin guys like Eric Voorhees, they are even coming out, and I'm happy that these guys are realizing the bigger picture. I'm happy that these guys see that if Ripple loses, this is going to mean something very, very negative for the crypto industry as a whole. I'm happy to hear these guys come out and support Ripple with these types of responses, Eric's in particular. So there you go, son. Jason, you just don't know what the you're talking about, fool. Moving along, though, Michael Branch here on Twitter posting this with regards to El Salvador and a former Ripple executive suggesting that they should be running on the XRP ledger. Well, guys, I've got some news for you. In recent days, the Bitcoin network has experienced a surge in demand. We heard about this when Binance did have to shut down Bitcoin transactions. I did a video on that a few days ago. I'll link that up here if you guys didn't catch that. Well, it's still happening, fueled by the growing popularity of BRC20 tokens, inscriptions, and ordinals, commonly known as NFTs. This has resulted in a boost of revenue for miners as the average commission paid per block reached its peak. However, the surge in demand has also led to higher fees for Bitcoin users. So this is how it extends to users of Bitcoin every single day. As journalist Mars Romero recently observed during a cash withdrawal in El Salvador, one individual was charged $20 in fees for withdrawing $100, a significant cost in a country where the average salary is $300 to $350. This has prompted Romero to caution against enabling gambling on non-fungible tokens or meme coins, emphasizing the real-world impact of high fees on its users. Now, here was the original Mars Romero tweet. I'm in El Salvador right now, just witnessed a cash withdrawal via Bitcoin. This individual now had to pay $20 in fees for getting $100 out of the country. I want you to think about this when enabling gambling on effing JPEGs or meme coins. This is real, folks. So the tariff here, the tarifa, is $21.71. But in response to that tweet, Matt Hamilton, former director of development relationships at Ripple, suggested using technology that is better suited for this purpose, such as the XRP ledger. He argues that getting upset about the limitations of Bitcoin and its widespread use does not help anyone. As we know, Bitcoin was adopted in the fall of 2021. Nayib Bukele, the president of El Salvador, was promoting it heavily at that point in time. So Matt Hamilton's response can be seen down here. Just use technology that is fit for this purpose. Example, the XRP ledger. Now, guys, I don't know if you know, but this is the perfect of where El Salvador in particular, because now they have greenlit Bitcoin as legal tender, of where they can benefit. And as you guys can see, Spend the Bits wallet right now is available in Canada and soon in El Salvador. So it looks as though they are working with El Salvador and have been, since before this was posted, have been to make the Bitcoin transaction process a little bit more seamless. So I'm really excited for this. I mean, once this gets up and running, if I can use my Spend the Bits wallet in El Salvador, I really want to plan a trip there. I think it would be kind of fun to, utilize Bitcoin over the XRP ledger to pay for goods and services, maybe my hotel, restaurants, whatever it is. I'd like to try it out and, do that just, kind of for fun almost, as an experiment, traveling with Bitcoin. So there you guys have it. Spend the Bits wallet is already in the process of doing this. Michael Branch, thank you for posting that. Of course, Ripple-enabled Temenos keeps hitting it out of the park as well. UBL now is going live on Temenos. This is the United Bank Limited, one of the largest banks in Pakistan with 11 million customers. They've gone live on the corporate lending Temenos digital banking platform as part of a comprehensive digital transformation for the bank's retail, SME, and corporate banking for domestic and international customers on Temenos. So the original Temenos solution, they implemented this standard, the NDC tech, and they'll help UBL to meet growing demands for digital customer experiences and win businesses and corporate clients in a highly competitive lending market that has seen demand slowed by global economic conditions and rising interest rates. So, leveraging the power of the XRP ledger obviously can help a lot of these processes become a lot more seamless in these countries where they have seen these challenges. Temenos' solution systemizes the process of loan initiation, credit approval management, credit policy, limit monitoring, credit documentation management, risk rating, collateral management, and post-approval activities and transactions. With these banking capabilities integrated into Temenos digital banking platform, UBL can provide a smooth and seamless digital experience while enabling the bank's corporate lending teams to access the right data at the right time to make quick, consistent, and cost-effective credit decisions. So the seamless integration, guys, this is what they are, really looking for. A pioneer in digital banking, UBL is working with Temenos and NDC Tech to further leverage the Temenos platform to provide an integrated digital experience for all retail and corporate customers. Because banking has been so cumbersome until now, all these banking sectors, since the ISO 20022 standard has come about now, all these banks are now scurrying and they kind of have to move on, making their technology interoperable. I'm finding that, we're seeing a lot more of this type of news where, these bigger companies like Finastra, like Temenos, the Ripple-enabled big tech guys, the big IT guys, the tech back-end stuff, these guys are seeing a lot more partnerships. And, this is just one of the latest, Pakistan, UBL Bank in Pakistan. So some interesting news there. Also happen to see this, guys, another one from Finextra. eBury strikes a partnership with Financial Intermediary and Broker Association. Now, eBury did buy Bexus, if you guys remember, a few months ago, and Bexus is Ripple-enabled. So by extension, eBury is also Ripple-enabled. So they just announced a new partnership with FIBA, the Financial Intermediary and Broker Association. This exciting collaboration will allow FIBA members to support businesses with effective lending, risk management, and cash management solutions through professional partners. eBury services offer intermediaries access to the following business solutions. So unsecured trade finance revolving credit facility of between £50,000 and £3 million with no setup or maintenance cost. International payments, guys, in 130 plus currencies. So a huge amount of currencies, and hedging tools to mitigate volatility in foreign markets with the ability to lock in pricing for up to 5 years. And then finally, global payment and collection accounts allowing companies to receive funds domestically, avoiding high wire costs and automatic conversion all in one online portal. So a one-stop shop here, again, for this company, eBury, and their new partnership with FIBA. They want to leverage eBury's market lending services and expertise in business lending, international payments, and cash management solutions. And again, eBury did buy Bexus, that Ripple partner. So for example, brokers will now be able to provide cash flow, liquidity, guys, perhaps utilizing XRP to companies so that they can mitigate supply chain issues and navigate busy stocking periods throughout the year, which would have previously been challenging. So, just more examples here of where these types of partnerships are really, helping clients streamline their process financially, especially, the multiple currencies, right? 130 plus currencies. Considering we are moving off it's purported we're moving off the USD as the world reserve currency. All these regional localized currencies are going to, theoretically, all going to see a lot more traction, a lot more liquidity is going to be needed. So, if these corridors are not liquid, you take, for example, some of these African countries where, all these countries have their own different currencies, their own type of shilling or dollar or whatever. These rails generally aren't that liquid. So to leverage XRP for that purpose obviously makes a lot of sense. So just another partnership with, by extension, Ripple partner eBury connected to Bexus, which is a confirmed Ripple partner. And guys, here we have Lawman here on Twitter, was on the Paul Barron Network show, and he gave his take on the Ripple XRP lawsuit. Obviously, this has been, one of the biggest, I think the biggest cryptocurrency lawsuits that everybody is following right now. This is really what's going to shape crypto regulation in the United States. It's going to be a landmark case. It's really going to change the landscape. Here's what he had to say, his opinion on the situation. Listen to this.
If the Ripple case gets to the Supreme Court of the United States, I believe it is highly likely that Ripple wins and the SEC loses. It's dicey to predict what one particular federal judge will or will not do with massive contrasting motions for summary judgment. But as Ripple, I hate to say it, this is going to take more time, as Ripple goes to the Second Circuit Court of Appeals and then to the United States Supreme Court, I like their chances a lot.
What would you say is the number one thing they bring in terms of their defense to the Supreme Court that you feel, hey, this is a good probability they could win this?
It's the big question. It's the ultimate question. And that is the SEC lacks authority from Congress to regulate in this space. It is the major questions doctrine. There are 6 votes at the Supreme Court right now for this major questions doctrine, which says if you are going to claim the authority to regulate a massive industry and a new asset class, you have got to get that authority from Congress. And it's exactly what Gary Gensler said in May of 2021. He was right then. He's wrong now. But there's 6 votes for that. And I think this is a perfect case of a major question that can only be settled by Congress.
So, Lawman here pointing at the obvious. Gary Gensler did say that, the SEC didn't need Congress's approval back in May of 2021. So he was right then, but wrong now. Lawman here saying Congress has got to give the SEC approval. Otherwise, the SEC is pretty much dead in the water. Bill Morgan here also commenting on this. Your view is highly likely Ripple wins if it goes to the Supreme Court. So what he's also suggesting is it might take a little longer. It will go to the Supreme Court. He goes on to say because the SEC lacks authority in the major question doctrine. Given what Gensler said back in May of 2021, why do you think the SEC has not settled and risks ultimately an adverse binding decision on a major legal issue? Very, very good question here. Frank F. saying, I can see that early sales of XRP could be seen as securities, but that's it. We all know now that this case is just about stalling XRP's progress so that Ethereum can upgrade their system to compete, but more about paving the way for big banks to control the crypto market. And guys, we've seen that even these big banks coming in wanting to be the custodians for cryptocurrency. It started with Bakkt, but even all these other big banks like JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs now have their crypto wings. Cronus here saying it's already clear their goal is to delay and delay regardless of the outcome. A major financial institution player doesn't like XRP, and we all know who it is, the same who funds the SEC. So guys, it's about the crypto industry versus the big banks. But Lawman here has his opinion. It could take a little longer if it goes to the Supreme Court. At the end of the day, though, he's confident of a Ripple win. And that sounds pretty good to me. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.